Okay, so I had my first 1K a day drop shipping. I'm breaking out exactly what I did to get there, kind of just my journey. If you have any sort of questions, send me on Instagram. It's in the description. Also, if you want some cheap AI UGC, use Polaris. It's in the description also. So, first off, right? So I started in January, right? I started it was like the beginning of January, like January 15, 10, something around there, right? And now it's August. So about about 8 months, 7, 8 months now. And for me, when I first started dropshipping, I started, I think it was 5 stores. Yeah, I had 5 different stores that I ran, and I didn't get any sales on all of them. And I didn't get my first sale until the beginning of my second month, which was in February. And we all know what holidays in February. It was Valentine's Day, and that's when I got my first sale. It was like a seasonal product, so that's why I think that I did pretty well. Um, that's when I made my first $1,000 in revenue in February, my second month drop shipping. But with that, I didn't really make any sort of profit because I'm just running stuff. You feel me? I didn't I didn't really know what I was doing per se. I was literally just running ads. I got sales and I was like, oh, I'm making money. But in reality, I wasn't really making money because I was spending so much on ads, right? And I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm making money. I don't care. Also, during that time, it's kind of funny. I think after I got like my first, it was a couple of days before I got my first sale. So I didn't even get a sale, but I dropped out of college like before I even got my first sale. Because I generally, bro, like I believe that much in what I do, bro. So, so like I literally dropped out of college before I even got my first sale in dropshipping. Yeah. So that was a little funny. But like I said, after I got my first store, to get some, a couple of sales, I got to like 1K in revenue. But after that, the store kind of died out because it was a seasonal product. So, the season passed, and we had to run some more stuff. And after that, I found a new product directly after that. It was like my first store after that. Actually, it was my second product after my first, product that I made money with. I found that product and I started selling it, and it was doing good. Honestly, it was doing good, right? And this genuinely could have been the product, right? This product, it was doing so good, bro. Like for me and the level I was at, it was doing so good. But my ad account got shut down. My first page got cooked, right? And I was just like, whoa, what's going on? I didn't know what's going on. So I ended up taking off dropshipping for a whole month because I was just like, they cooked my account. I don't have an ad account anymore. There's nothing I can do. When in reality, I figured out a fix for it. The whole fix is if you have a Facebook account that gets banned, you want to connect the Instagram account to it so that you can get back in and then add a new Facebook page. That's the solution, right? But at the time, I didn't know that. I thought that I was done for. They got my account. It's all over. You feel me? So I took some time off from that, and I'm just kind of saying, what do I do? What do I do? Obviously, I still want to do dropshipping because that's my stuff. But they just kind of banned my account. But eventually, I got back on there, and started a brand new store. You feel me? You know how it goes. Brand new store, running up a little bit again. But all of this time, bro, like none of these stores are really profitable, bro. Like we're making money, but we're unprofitable, so it doesn't really matter, but it does at the same time. Like I have sales coming in because I'm learning the skill even more, but at the same time I'm still losing money because it's not profitable sales. So it's a couple some time goes by, right? Whatever, and then I don't even know what month this is in. This is like, I don't even know. It's like a couple months ago, maybe like 3 months ago. So this is the breakthrough that I had, right? So obviously I haven't came to my full breakthrough. I haven't had a full breakthrough yet where I'm making like insane amounts of money. But this was my breakthrough at the current time that was able to get me to 1K a day, right? So I understood that people buy a product, right? My whole problem was that I'm getting sales, but I'm getting unprofitable sales, right? People are coming to my store, they're buying, but I'm spending more on ads to actually get the customer than what the profit would be. So I'm just losing money, right? So I thought to myself, I was like, what can I even do? Like, obviously, the number one thing you can do is just have better ads. You feel me? I'm thinking about that now. I could just make better ads, but at the time, I was like, you know what? Let me try subscriptions, right? So I started doing subscription-based products, and when I tell you that's the stuff, it is genuinely, subscriptions are literally life changing, bro. Like I'm just say that, like running subscription based products are literally life changing. Because if you're selling a product with subscriptions, after you get that first customer, you were literally chilling. Like you can generally be on the beach in Australia. I don't know if they have beaches. You can be anywhere in the world, and you're making money from your sales without having to do a single thing. You don't have to lift a single finger. The only thing that you need to do is make sure that you're able to ship the product. After you have that first subscription customer, it really doesn't matter. You're already getting the sales, right? So I got my first couple of subscriptions, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I'm literally making this money passively at this point, right? So I just started grinding subscriptions. But the biggest thing, right? The biggest thing for me is that this is like my first subscription store, like, because the product that I told you guys that was like, I was like, yeah, this is the product. That store, like that ad account had got banned, so I had to make a new store. And with this new store, I was like, okay, when I run this store, I'm running this as a subscription-based store. I don't want no other sales. I generally don't want anybody to buy this product if they're not gonna pay for a subscription. Don't buy it. I don't care. So I made it an option. If you're buying this product, you can only buy it as a subscription. I did not care, right? And still to this day, I don't care. Like, if you're buying from the store, you have to buy a subscription. You don't have to. Like, it's like 80%, right? So I'm like, okay, you gotta get the subscription. I'm trying to make this passive money, right? That's what I want. I want passive money. To this day, I want passive money. I want to be able to lay down. I want to be able to play 2K. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do and have this passive money coming in, right? So that's why subscriptions are so important to me, because I need that passive money, right? So, like I said, right, I ran this second store as a subscription only store, right? If you're buying from the store, it's a subscription, right? And so this is the problem that I happen to have, right? So I have sales coming in, right? I have sales coming in. I have subscriptions coming in. But the same thing as last time. I'm getting sales in, but they're just not profitable. Like, I'm getting sales, but they're not profitable sales. But at the same time, right, they may not be profitable sales, but they are subscription sales. So technically, say I buy, okay, this is like a good example, right? So I'm paying, let me see, I'm paying 15 for a customer, but the customer is only paying 10. Right? So that's a $5 loss, right? But if you think about it, right, so the next month comes around, they're going to pay that same 10 again. And if I already paid 15 to get that customer, I would have 20, right? So if you get what I'm saying, right, the customer paid 10 the first time, but I paid 15 to acquire them. Now the second month comes around and they're paying 10 again. So the customer paid $20 in total, and I've only paid 15 to get the customer, right? And then, look at month 3, right? The customer now paying 10 more. So that means the customer paid $30 and I only paid 15 to get that customer. So, in the long run, it works, right? But, obviously that's never the goal with subscription stores. And I still struggle to understand that, because I was just so obsessed with subscriptions, right? I wanted the subs, I wanted the money coming in, I wanted the recurring revenue, so I did not care, right? So I don't care. I'm getting these sales one way or another. I don't care how much I have to pay. I'm getting these sales, right? And like I'm saying, like, I'm just running it up. You feel me? Like, I'm making a good amount of money. Like, at this point, well, it's not like, good amount of money. It is subjective, right? For me at the time, that was a good amount of money. I was making like 2.4K a month, 2.3K, somewhere around there. So, slowly making, you feel me? Making a little bit of money, right? At that time, I was working my job. So yeah, that was nice, right? I had my job money coming in, helping with the drop shipping, and yeah, it was solid, right? So after that, right? So after I'm running this store, and I thought to myself that I had an idea that I wanted to have multiple stores running at the same time with subscriptions, just to kind of diversify, my money, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try that. I started a new store, and we're kind of coming out more on current day, right? So I started a new store, right? And this one was it was another seasonal event. I'm not gonna get too more like seasonal product, right? And that store did really good. Like, that was my first time ever having like a genuinely profitable store, right? It was basically profitable. I had crazy numbers coming in, right? I did like probably did like 5K, 4 or 5K in sales. I don't know. I had a series running on the channel. I gotta finish that because I did. Well, we're a little bit under, like, we're at like 4K, but we're almost at that low 5K in 30-day threshold that I was trying to do, right? So we did that, right? We did it, and that store was going insane. That boosted my subscriptions to like it was at like at the peak it was like 5K in subscriptions, right? So it was a good amount of money, right? But obviously, all the subs haven't hit yet, so I didn't have that big day, like that big 1K day. I haven't had that, right? So, but I know in the back of my mind that I have these subs, right? I have 5K in subscriptions for this month, right? We're on present day now. So I'm like, okay, I do have 5K sitting right there. how am I gonna do this, right? Am I gonna have a 1K day and stuff like that, right? So, more days come up, right? I start another store, right? So I have like 4 stores. Honestly, I have like 4 stores right now, right? So I'm like, yeah, 4 stores are here, and basically what I'm gonna do, right? I wanna I want a 1K day, right? I don't care what I need. I want a 1K day. So I ran subscriptions on that store as well. So I have like 3 years. Like I just have a bunch of stores with subscriptions, honestly. And then with all like the whole premise on how I was able to get the 1K day, like almost 100% profitably, is I had crazy amounts of subscriptions come in all at the same day, and that just equaled out to 1,000. You feel me? Like it wasn't that crazy, but the main premise is that I worked and I worked and I worked on my subscriptions so that later down the line I will be able to just relax and just have 1K come in. Like I was literally playing the game. Like I was really just playing my game. I get off the game and look at my stuff. I'm like, oh, 1K day. You feel me? and the crazy thing, bro, because obviously the crazy thing a lot of people don't tell you, bro, is there's 2 different ways, right? The one way is if you like a lot of people, they be like, oh, I had a $10,000 day, $3,000 day, but in reality they're spending so much money on ads, so they're bound to get that much, right? I got that without spending any money on ads, basically, right? That's why subscriptions are so good, because I was able to get a 1K day without spending any money on ads, just playing the game. So that's just one reason why I like subscriptions a lot. But like I said, if I were to give any sort of advice for anybody, run some subscriptions on whatever you do. I don't care what you're selling. Figure it out, really. just figure it out, really. But subscriptions change lives. I'm gonna just say that. But I think that's going to the video. Like I said, that's how I got the 1K day. I started a lot of different stores in the past. I figured out subscriptions is the method, and I started grinding subscriptions, and then I took my hands off and let the subscriptions hit. Simple as that. But if you guys did make it through all the way to the video, or to the end of the video, I really do appreciate you guys. My channel views are just kind of weird, bro. Like I get 100 views one video, I get 500 one video, I get 4 one video. So I don't know, bro. I generally don't know. I'm just consistency is gonna be everything. I heard a quote by Alex Hormozy. He said, "Volume negates luck." The more times you do something, the more times you have to even get lucky, in the first place. So that's kind of how I like to think about my life. Just the more I do, the more opportunity I have. So yeah. But like I said, hit me up on Instagram. If you got any sort of questions, if you guys want to make some cheap AI UGC, get Polaris UGC is in the description as well. And I will catch y'all boys later.